Today's lesson is Venn diagrams. After going through this lesson, you are expected to solve problems involving sets with the use of Venn diagrams. So ano nga ba ang isang Venn diagram? A Venn diagram is a diagram that uses circles to represent sets. It is a way of representing sets visually and is named after its inventor, John Venn. John Venn was an English mathematician, logician, and philosopher noted for introducing the Venn diagrams, which are used in logic, set theory, probability, statistics, and computer science. For example, this universal set. So sa universal set na to, may dalawang overlapping sets, si A and B. They are overlapping because they have a common element. So, in this case, ang common element ng dalawang set ay yung crown. So, if we're going to list the elements of each set, it will be like this. Set A has the elements blue star, red star, yellow star, and crown. While set B has elements crown, red flower, and yellow flower. Also, note that may elements sa labas ng dalawang sets. Yung element na to ay cloud. Meaning, kabilang siya sa universal set, pero hindi siya kasama dun sa dalawang sets. Another example, we have three sets sa universal set na ito. Set A, set B, and set C. This time, instead na objects, the elements are numbers. So, ang element ng set A ay 0, 2, 3, and 7. While set B, 3, 4, 5, 7. Set C naman ay may element na 2, 3, at 8. Again, may mga elements sa labas ng tatlong sets, 9 and 6. This means that kahit hindi kasama si 9 and 6 sa sets A, B, and C, kasama pa rin ito sa universal set. Note that sets A, B, and C intersect with each other. Just by looking at the Venn diagram, we can determine alin ang mga elements ng bawat sets. For example, 3, nasa gitna siya, meaning ang 3 ay kabilang ng lahat ng sets. Another example, 7. The element 7 is an element of A and also an element of B, pero hindi siya element ni C. Another example, 5. 5 is an element of B, pero hindi siya kasama sa set A at set C. Sa lesson na to, meron tayong dalawang activities na gagawin. First activity is completing Venn diagrams. Sa activity na to, laging given ang universal set and at least one set. In this case, given sa universal set as the set of the whole numbers from 1 to 15. Ano ba yung mga whole numbers from 1 to 15? Yun ay 1, 2, 3, 4, and so on hanggang 15. Ang elements naman ng set ay 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, and 13. While set B has elements 3, 4, 5, 7, 8, 10, 15. We will start with drawing the universal set. Then, ang pinakamagandang strategy dito ay isa-isahin yung mga elements ng universal set at alamin kung saan sila ilalagay. So, let's start with 1. So, saan natin ilalagay si 1? 1 is not an element of A and it's also not an element of B. Therefore, ilalagay natin siya sa labas ng A at sa labas ng B. How about element 2? 2 is an element of A, but it's not an element of B. So, dapat nasa loob siya ng A, pero hindi siya kasama dun sa intersection ng A at B. Like this. Element 3. Sa element 3 naman ay kabilang lang ng element B. How about element 4? Element 4 is an element of set A, and it is also an element of set B. So, doon natin siya ilalagay sa intersection ng dalawang sets. Paano naman yung ibang elements? Okay, Para sa mga students na nanonood, itigil muna ang panonood ng video na ito at alamin kung saan dapat ilagay yung mga elements ng universal set. Alam mo na ba kung saan dapat nakalagay ang bawat element? Ito ang tamang posisyon ng bawat element sa universal set. Tama ba ang sagot? Now, let's move on to the second activity. Second activity is about solving word problems involving sets. For example, 60 students were asked if they have pets at home. 40 of the students have dogs and 35 have cats. Assuming that all 60 students have dogs or cats or both, answer the following questions. Letter A. How many students have dogs only? Letter B. How many students own cats only? Letter C. How many students have both dogs and cats? Let's start with drawing the universal set. So in this universal set, let set C be the set of the students who have cats, while set D is the set of students who have dogs. Siyempre, intersecting yung dalawang sets na ito dahil may mga students na may alagang cats at the same time may alaga rin dogs. To answer the following questions, let's look for the clues. So the first clue here, all students have dogs or cats or both. Ang ibig sabihin nito, walang element sa union ng set C at set D. Meaning, 0 ang nasa labas ng union ng set C at set D. Next, let us name the intersection of the two sets as set B. Okay, with this, take note na yung set C, nare-represent niya na lang yung mga students na may alagang cats only. While set D is the set of students na may alagang dogs only. And lastly, set B represents the students with cats and dogs. Now, from the first sentence, 60 students were asked if they have pets at home. So, ibig sabihin, the number of students in set C plus the number of students in set B plus the number of students in set D is equal to 60. Second sentence, 40 of the students have dogs. Hindi naman sinabi na dogs lang. So, kailangan kasama pa rin sa bilang yung set B na nagre-represent ng mga students na may alagang cats at the same time dogs. So, set B plus set D is equal to 40. Now, since B plus D is equal to 40, C is equal to 20. Next, from the second sentence again, 35 have cats. Just like what we did earlier, we need to include set B. So C plus B is equal to 35. So set B is equal to 25. And lastly, since nakuha na natin yung set C and set B, which is 45, makuha na rin natin yung number of elements ni set B by getting the difference of 60 and 45. So B is equal to 15. So let's answer now the following questions. Letter A. How many students have dogs only? That's right. 25 students have dogs only. Letter B. How many students own cats only? That's right. 20 students own cats only. Lastly, letter C. How many students have both dogs and cats? That's right. 15 students have both dogs and cats.